Ooh. Oh, the Batman. The Batman has released pictures of what the new Batmobile is going to look like, and we'll take a look at that today on Mirror Domains Movie News. Tom Hiddleston as Loki has been captured on set with some new pictures of that new Loki series. We'll take a look at that today. And it appears that James Bond, No Time to Die, has been pushed back. It's been delayed. Yeah, that's kind of a bummer. We'll talk about that. Pixar's Onward is projected to have a rather big weekend opening at the box office, and we'll address some of those concerns. And Vin Diesel and Bloodshot is ramping up their marketing with a little bit of a featurette today that we'll take a look at. All on Mirror Domains Movie News. All right, let's just get to it. Oh, that's awesome. The Batmobile. I can't wait to take a look at this. Welcome to Mirror Domains Movie News. And if you don't know how this show works, you can look down in the comment section where I've pinned some time codes where you guys can look at some of the favorite topics that you want to jump to, and that's how it works on this channel. But first up, we're going to take a look at the new Batmobile pictures because I was just kind of like, wow, they got posted? Now, I've heard rumblings that it's supposed to look like a muscle car, and it does, but I'm happy that we get to see Batman standing next to it, because that gives us some scale, it gives us some context, and these pictures look great. I'm just kind of like, it's a different take. It's not the Tumbler, but then it's not also that throwback kind of Batmobile from the 80s where it's got the fins and such. This one definitely looks a lot more like that muscle car feel, and I'm just like, that looks great. I want to know what you guys thought about these pictures because I'm liking this. I'm liking the way that this is shaping up. This has actually got me excited for the first time. We've seen set photos of him before of the suit. We've seen that video, that teaser video of Robert Pattinson before. But the Batmobile here, this kind of news, this is awesome, man. This got me, and I want to know if it got you too. All right, let's move on to some more stories. And you know, a lot of places today are reporting some really kind of questionable stories, such as Johnny Depp is in talks to join the new Pirates of the Caribbean movie. And there's a new Spawn movie on the way, guys, and it's going to be rated R. And we have Joker to thank for it. God, guys, you read these headlines, and then you look for the sources, and you're kind of like, you know, it's a pipe dream kind of thing. It's nonsense. It's good for clickbait, but I wouldn't pay them any attention. I figure, you know what, you probably have better things to do with your time. Just pay attention to the sources, and you'll be thankful that you did, because when you look at these sites, they just take you down a rabbit hole and sell you the same thing over and over again. Here's a juicy headline, but there's no substance behind it. They can't follow it up with anything. They can't substantiate it. They've just kind of tricked you to looking at them, and that's not what I want to do here on Mirror Domains Movie News. I just want to be able to talk about some of the real headlines and engage in conversations with you guys. Spawn, if it comes, fine, cool, that's really awesome. Pirates of the Caribbean movie news, I felt like that franchise is dead, but if Johnny Depp comes back, I don't think he will. I think all of this stuff is kind of just bogus. Just always check the sources, guys, because it's just kind of like, yeah, people will try to fool you and trick you to watch their material or read their material. Imagine if you wasted like 20 minutes reading some guy's article about this stuff. It's just kind of like, no, it's nice for a headline, but that's all it is. It's just a headline. And now we have some Loki pictures to look at. You know, Tom Hiddleston, a lot of people like him. They think he's some kind of super stud. And a lot of people like the character Loki from the MCU. Everybody was pretty much really on board the fact that they were going to be having this little Disney Plus series with him. Now, it's not slated to come out until 2021, but we have some production photos that are not official. They're from somebody's Twitter page. Carla Loves Loki is her handle. So it's probably some girl that's obsessed with Tom Hiddleston. Now, I'll pull them up here, just put them on the side here, and just let you take a look at them. It also shows us a character that I'm not too sure what the name is going to be, but it's the actress Sofia Di Martino, who looks like she's somewhat of a cop. They've kind of apprehended him. Now, we know from the last time that we saw him in Endgame, he had a hold of the Tesseract, so it's going to be something like that. Maybe he gets apprehended again, and we saw that in that teaser from the Super Bowl that he's in prison garb. So eventually, yeah, it looks maybe this is where he gets captured and gets put in prison. We'll have to wait and see when the actual full teaser comes out. But as I said, it's not slated for another year or so. And if you want to check that out, you'll have to check her handle out to see more pictures of Loki and Tom Hiddleston. And now Pixar's Onward is set to have a rather big opening this weekend at the weekend's box office. So, Onward is coming out this weekend, and Variety and a lot of other places are projecting that it's going to make something in the upwards of $40 to $45 million domestically, and possibly $100 million worldwide. And that's a fairly big take for a kids movie this early in the year. But something came up yesterday in a live chat that I want to challenge you guys with. It was around the topic of this guy was going on about should he go out and see Onward because he's an adult, and he feels like he really shouldn't because he doesn't have a kid or anything. He just said that it feels weird that a grown man should go see a kid's film all by himself and to be in a theater with all these kids. That posed a very interesting scenario. I was kind of like, yeah, that's kind of weird, man. And I wanted to ask you guys, how do you feel about this? Should grown adults be going to the theater in today's age all by themselves or with friends to see a kid's movie? Now, I would say if you're a film critic or if you have kids of your own or you're taking your niece, nephews to go see a kid's movie, then that's no problem. But I don't see why a couple of grown adults would go and see a kid's movie in the theater. It's kind of like, it's just kind of makes you go, wait a minute, something's not right here. And what is it? What's not right about this? Now, this guy in the live chat went on to say that, if I'm an adult going to a kid's movie, it's kind of like, a kid going to see an R-rated horror film. And I was like, no, that's not the same kind of thing. An adult going to see a kid's film is going to see a family-friendly movie, like a general audience movie. A kid going to see a horror movie is just kind of like, that's going to be damaging to his psyche. There's a reason why we have those ratings. Yeah, and you know what else doesn't work? This. Hey, babe, let's go out on a hot date. Let's go out and see a kid's movie. Come on! Yeah, that doesn't work. But if you're going to watch it at home, I figure there's no problem with that. You're going to watch that at home. Do you need to go out in the theater and see it as an adult? All by yourself? It's a free country. So obviously you can do whatever you want. Go out and see it here in North America. And for the most part, you won't have any kind of people kind of giving you the weird eye. But it does pose an interesting question, and I really, really want to get your thoughts on this. Should grown adults be watching kids' content in the theater? And I was just kind of like, yeah, that's a very interesting question. Now, I mean, as I said, it is a free country, so you can watch it whatever you want. It gives you a moment of pause, and that's what I want to engage with you guys with. I want to have some conversation about that. Is it really necessary for grown adults to go and see kids' movies in the theaters? Let me know what you thought about it in the comments below, because Onward is going to be opening up this weekend. It's going to have a big box office, probably going to be number 1, and that's Onward News. Hey, coronavirus, something that's really getting its grip on the globe worldwide, and it's affecting the movie news industry. I woke up and I saw the headline this morning that, it appears that James Bond, No Time to Die is getting delayed. It's being reported by the Hollywood Reporter, and they're saying due to concerns with the coronavirus, this rollout, I guess they had a big Asian release schedule that they're going to delay it. And I was like, okay, well, you know what? Yesterday they said that Top Gun Maverick is going to get moved. It got moved up a couple of days, so that was good news. But this time around, with James Bond, No Time to Die, the news is kind of grim. But maybe it will work out in the long run. It's being delayed to November 25th. What? Who? Man, that's a long time away. That's a long time away, guys. November 25th for the new James Bond film. But here's the thing. I'm thinking maybe it will perform a little bit better in November. And that's what I want to ask you guys. Do you think this delay will help it perform better? Because April is just getting into the summer season, you know? I figure if it wasn't going to succeed, it was going to bomb, then it was going to bomb in April and bomb hard because it's going to go up against a bunch of the summer releases coming out in May and such like that, because it's just not going to have longevity. But in November, maybe it does have a couple of weeks to play with where it will be number one at the box office and see a better return. It's just, man, that's a real bummer. I was actually kind of really looking forward to this final Bond film because, this was Daniel Craig's last time out, and I was looking forward to it. But now, November 25th is when we're going to see it. What do you guys think about it? Let me know in the comments below. And finally today, we have a small little featurette for Vin Diesel's Bloodshot that comes out next week, March 13th. And it's just a little behind-the-scenes clip to ramp up some of the marketing. I figure we would just take a quick little look at it. It's from Sony in Colombia.
What happened, Nick?
You got yourself killed. You have been given a second chance.
Okay. Seen that in the
What
trailer.
are those things?
We call them nanites.
Those are in my blood.
They are your blood.
I remember
They are your
reading a
blood.
story about nanites. I thought, what about the first superhero to be nano-powered?
And that was the
No,
origin.
I've never read this material. Have you guys?
The first who we've successfully managed to bring back. Improved, enhanced.
The idea was they were experimenting ultimately to try to create immortality, constant healing, and that sort of thing.
Some of the visual
Whoever
effects look
controls
good.
Bloodshot
That looks
controls it
good.
all.
But a lot of
like
it has to do with the
Frankenstein as
lighting.
James Bond.
Kind of like Frankenstein as James Bond? Really?
This was a version of a superhero story that had a grounding to it. The
I don't know,
idea
guys.
of manipulation through technology is something
Guy
that's happening
Pearce,
today.
I was drawn to the idea of playing a character that had superhero-like powers, who uncovers that his mind is manipulated.
You are my weapon.
Yeah, but
You made me, but you can't control me forever.
okay.
It's completely different
Guy
to
Pearce?
anything I've done before. It's badass.
It's
The
badass.
idea was to honor the spirit.
Nothing like
of
you've ever
power.
done before. It's probably because
They're your
you don't
traditional
get a whole lot of
superheroes because
options.
when Bloodshot comes out, it's gonna be a whole new game.
I'm going to see this, obviously. Bloodshot. Vin Diesel! What did you guys think about that? At least we got some posters out of this stuff. I'm not hyped for it. I'm having reservations, and I want to know if it's the same with you guys too. Are you kind of like, well, it's one of those things that's going to be a sleeper hit if it's a hit. Otherwise, I think it's just going to fly pretty much level at the highest, and then it's just going to drop off, because I think for the most part, people are realizing that it's going to be suffering from mediocrity, man. And that sucks, because lots of people like Vin Diesel because of the Fast and Furious franchise, and they just want to see him succeed in other projects aside from that. Triple X, maybe a little bit, but not that much, because the series itself is somewhat laughable. But yeah, Bloodshot. Let me know what you thought about this little featurette in the comments section below. And that's it. That's pretty much the day that it's been for March 4th in the realm of movie and entertainment news. As you know, I always pay attention to these headlines and these stories. And I figured I'd just turn on my camera and share my thoughts with you all. All right. YouTube is recommending a video for you to watch right there. And you can see my latest one just right here. My name is James, and you're watching Mirror Domains Movie News. subscribe.